From Washington, this is VOA News. I'm Jonathan Smith reporting. Libyan security forces say they have arrested a brother and the father of Manchester suicide bomber Salman Abedi. A spokesman for the Libyan anti-terrorism force said Hashim Abedi had recently been in contact with his brother and knew of his plans for the attack. Salman Abedi blew himself up in the Manchester arena, killing 22 people and wounding scores of others, just moments after the ending of a pop music show featuring the young American singer Ariana Grande. She has canceled her tour schedule in Europe until June 7th, when she is to perform in Paris. Abedi's father told Reuters he spoke to his son 5 days ago and, quote, everything was normal. He said his son did not have extremist beliefs. The militant group Al-Shabab has claimed responsibility for a deadly car bombing in Somalia's capital and 2 other fatal attacks in Kenya. Officials in Mogadishu say at least 8 people were killed and 15 others injured in the bombing late Wednesday near the city's seaport. Witnesses told VOA's Somali service a car exploded next to a small restaurant. The dead include a mother and a young boy whose family owns the restaurant. 8 Kenyan security officers were killed in 2 separate roadside explosions in the country's northeast. 5 of the officers were killed after an IED hit a convoy of vehicles escorting the governor of Mandera County, who was campaigning in an area near the border with Somalia. This is news from the Voice of America in Washington. President Trump said Wednesday that he is now, quote, more determined than ever to pursue peace in our world after his meeting with Pope Francis at the Vatican. The White House says the two talked about how religious communities can combat human suffering in such places as Syria, Libya, and ISIS-controlled territory. The Vatican says the Pope had a, quote, cordial discussion with Trump and hopes the U.S. will work with it on health care, education, and assistance to immigrants. President Trump said terrorism is the, quote, #1 problem currently facing the world. He spoke as he met Wednesday with Belgium's Prime Minister in Brussels. Thursday, Trump will take part in the opening of a new NATO headquarters in Brussels, as well as a meeting of the leaders of the alliance. About 10,000 people protested Mr. Trump's appearance in Belgium's capital city, Brussels, on Wednesday. Trump arrived in Brussels to attend that NATO summit. Speeches by activists were followed by a march through the center of the city. Trump had said during his campaign that Brussels was a, quote, hellhole because terrorists attacked the city in 2016. Many of the signs at the protest referred to that with phrases such as, stay out of our hellhole. At least 3 police officers have been killed in 2 suspected suicide bombings at a bus terminal in the Indonesian capital Jakarta Wednesday. 5 other officers and 5 civilians were wounded in the attack. So far, no claim of responsibility, but ISIS has taken credit for past terror attacks in the country, which is the most populous Muslim nation in the world. The explosions happened near Kampung Melayu terminal. That is a station serving minivans and buses. It's in a working-class district of Eastern Jakarta that is not popular among tourists or foreigners. And Pakistan says UN military observers visiting its side of the disputed Kashmir border came under attack Wednesday from the Indian troops, but were not hurt. The observers report ceasefire actions and violations across the so-called line of control that divides the Himalayan territory between the 2 nuclear-armed rival nations. 2 observers, one from the Philippines and another from Croatia, were reportedly fired on by Indian forces. Pakistani and Indian troops have been locked in cross-border shelling in Kashmir, each accusing the other of violating a mutual ceasefire. There's more at voanews.com. I'm Jonathan Smith in Washington.
That's the latest world news from VOA.